Constant velocity, or CV joints and axles, are some of the hardest working drivetrain components on a vehicle. They perform their job silently day in and day out, and since they generally require no maintenance, they're often forgotten, but they will wear over time, and if not replaced, a worn CV joint will eventually fail. Although there are always warning signs, they are sometimes mild and they are often ignored or misdiagnosed. To prevent a costly and inopportune breakdown, there are many common symptoms to recognize as early indicators of a worn CV joint, and there are also some common customer complaints that quickly point in the direction of a CV joint or axle problem. A CV joint is a mechanical coupling that allows the housing, which is sometimes referred to as an outer race, to operate at different angles from the hub of the joint, which is connected to the CV shaft. Rosetta and tripod are the two different styles of joints, each with their own advantages. Regardless of type, a CV joint relies on precisely machined roller bearings or balls that seat into matching raceways, which allow them to operate at these constantly changing angles. These raceways, rollers, and balls will eventually wear, developing pitting, metal loss, or deep grooves in the raceways. Since you can't see this type of wear without disassembly of the CV joints, which in some cases can cause damage to the actual assembly, it's beneficial to recognize the symptoms of a worn CV joint, which may be noise or a physical sensation or vibration transferred into the steering and suspension that can be detected when driving the vehicle. One of the most common customer complaints is a clicking or popping noise going around corners. This indicates that the outer CV joint is binding under the increased load of turning. Since other steering or suspension problems are often described in the same manner, to pinpoint this as a CV joint, drive the vehicle at low speed in a parking lot and make hard left and right turns. The noise should be constant and rhythmic while the vehicle is moving. Single pops, snaps, or clunks should direct you to look at other components. If you don't hear it at first, apply pressure to the brakes along with additional throttle to induce an increased load on the joints while turning. When accelerating or decelerating in a straight line on a smooth surface, worn inner joints may create a clunking noise as the load is applied or released from the joint. To eliminate other causes, safely raise the vehicle and inspect for worn or broken drivetrain mounts that may exhibit a similar symptom. You can pinpoint this further by twisting the shaft back and forth by hand to look for excessive play. If a CV boot is torn or leaking grease, it's evidence that the joint is likely worn due to insufficient lubrication or the ingress of external contaminants. To ensure the integrity of the joints, it's recommended to replace the entire shaft assembly. Finally, as part of your visual inspection, rotate the wheel and inspect the shaft. A bent shaft will cause vibration, and always look for signs of collision damage, subframe misalignment, or weak drivetrain mounts that can cause excessive operating angles for the CV joints. Thanks for watching.